Porter Jr., early Bitcoin investor. I'm the founder of Washington Elite. I'm also the CEO of Global Boost. Biggest business that we do right now is capital raise. We have multiple projects here at the Global Family Office Investment Summit. Well, we've seen a shift of how everything goes. Of course, we've been around and working with Anthony for a long time. And of course, we had crypto and everything, and as it evolved, now really it's AI. I mean, that's what's coming out of this AI, whether it's data centers, whether it's AI workers, whether it's just investing in AI. AI is the topic, and that is what is fueling this next bull run, really. So we've been involved in the Global Family Office Investment Summit for at least, I would say, 5 years. We're honored to be here at the 25th anniversary. We're honored to be a partner. There is probably almost nobody better than Anthony Ritosa at bringing such a high caliber of people together under one roof. And that's why we continue to come back. It's not like you go to some of these huge events and there's thousands and thousands of people. And yes, the ones that you want to talk to may be there, but there's a whole 100, 200 people lined up to get to them. And it doesn't mean it can't work. They work all the time. But what we do here at the Global Family Office Investment Summit is we bring all those people under one roof. And sure, maybe you have to stand in line, but it's only 3 or 4 people. It's not 200 or 300.
Hello and good morning, everybody. Money movers and shakers, welcome to the Impact Money Show, coming to you live from the heart of Washington, D.C. I'm Bruce Porter Jr., your fearless financial navigator. And right with me is my brother and co-host, the one and only David Porter.
Hey, I'm here, David Porter, ready to shake up your morning. It's Friday morning. We're on the 6 a.m. hour, ready to get going. Markets are tough. And man, let me tell you, the weather out there is sticky. Are you feeling all of this rain participation, Bruce?
Oh, I'm feeling it, David. It's like walking through a swamp out there. I told my barber this morning or yesterday, make it quick. I don't want my hair turning into a frizzy mess before the show. But enough about my hair let's get to the real heat, because we've got a sizzling lineup for you today. We're diving into the latest AI breakthroughs, robotic updates, Elon Musk's dramatic exit from the Trump administration, and some jaw-dropping global news.
That's right, Bruce. We're not stopping there. We'll break down the markets, stocks, crypto, oil, you name it, plus the latest on Trump, Ukraine, and the Israeli-Palestine crisis. It's the end of the month, and with the MI consumer sentiment dropping today, we're asking, will the markets finally catch a break? Spoiler alert, it's going to be a wild ride today.
You got that right, man. Let's kick it off with AI, because the tech world is buzzing louder than a beehive at a flower festival. Word on the street is that a new AI model, possibly from our friends at XAI, who built that Grok character we love to chat with, might be hitting the scene soon. Rumor has it that this thing can outthink, outtalk, and outsmart anything that we've seen so far. Healthcare, finance, education, it could flip the script on all of them.
Well, hold your phone, Bruce. Washington's got its eye on AI too, and it's not in a let's be best friends type of way. The senators are huddled up talking about regulations to tackle data privacy and bias. I mean, come on, lawmakers, don't rain on the AI parade just yet. Let's see what this new model can do first. What do you think, Bruce? Innovation or regulation? What's ahead?
I mean, you know me, bro. I'm on team innovation, David, but you know, DC loves its rules. I mean, if they didn't make rules, they wouldn't think that they wouldn't really be doing anything, I think, right? They don't really produce anything. So all they can really do is make rules. Speaking of rules, let's talk robotics, because Tesla's Elon Musk is rewriting the playbook. He's been hyping up his robo-taxi program, set to launch in June, and teasing a new humanoid robot with a full self-driving tech. David, imagine the world where your car drives you to work while you sip your coffee and scroll on X. A dream come true, or what?
Well, some people would even argue that you should opt for the train ride. I mean, what a hassle, right? Public transportation. But Bruce, unless the robo-taxi decides to take me to the wrong side of town, I'm up for it. But let's be real. Musk, he's out there. He has a habit of promising us the moon, right? and the investors aren't biting yet. And with Tesla stocks down 50%, I'm wondering if Musk can pull this off. What's the latest on him anyway? I heard he's been stirring the pot there in Washington.
Oh, he's been stirring the pot, David. He's been shaking up the whole kitchen. I'll tell you, it doesn't look like anything's going to stick, really, though, unfortunately. Elon Musk just walked away from the Trump administration, where he has been leading the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, D-O-G-E, yes, like the meme coin. He called a Republican tax bill disappointing. I mean, so did the rest of us. And 24 hours later, he was out the door. The White House confirmed it Wednesday, and Musk took to X to thank Trump for the gig. But here's the kicker. Doge claimed to save $175 billion, but analysts are saying, show me the receipts. Congress has refused to codify or enact or do anything in order to make any of these cuts permanent.
Man, 175 billion sounds like pocket change compared to Musk's trillion-dollar promises. And let's not forget, Bruce, this guy's got X, Starlink, Tesla, keeping him plenty busy. The Republic thinks he's still a major political pool, even without Doge. But with Tesla struggling, he might need to focus on his day job, unless he's planning to run for president. Yeah, right. What about Trump, though? I heard he's been a little out of the loop.
I mean, out of the loop is an understatement. I don't know. I guess out of the loop is how you say it. President Trump's second term is keeping us on our toes. That is for sure. But he's been dropping some head scratchers lately. Take the Ukraine war last week. Ukraine and NATO had allegedly tried to take down Vladimir Putin's. I say allegedly, but I mean, obviously it was them. Vladimir Putin's helicopter in an assassination attempt. Putin really now has the upper hand, launching drone attacks near Romania's border and issuing new terms to end the war. But when Trump was asked about Putin's escalation, he said he didn't know why it was happening. And so this really, once, and this happened actually in the first administration as well, once he was in there, he became so insulated from everybody. And now he's not even on X. So I guess, and it doesn't appear to me that if you talk or tweet him or post him on Truth that he really hears it. Used to be like you would post on X and like he was on there, he was like everybody else. He was like scrolling through, looking on there. He was like seeing stuff, but he appears now to be insulated again, and maybe even worse. How do you not know that they just launched a massive drone attack to try to assassinate the president of Russia? And you come out the next day and you say, I don't know why he's escalating this.
Sounds like he didn't get the memo. People are making moves, and that's wild. Bruce, and speaking of wild, let's talk about the Middle East, because things are getting uglier by the day. There's no denying it anymore. Israel is committing genocide in Palestine. The world is waking up to the atrocities, with even Piers Morgan saying, this has to stop. Women and children are dying, and the global pressure is on for a 60-day ceasefire.
Well, exactly, David. And, this might happen. And, through this whole thing, certainly we and me especially have been I just can't sit here and not say anything while these poor kids are blown apart. And, Thomas Massey came on X last night and he said, nothing, you can't say that this is okay. And if you say that killing 50,000 women and babies is necessary and more is justified, I disagree. And I disagree as well. Thomas Massey, I hope the guy runs for president one day, because he's really he's just right on the mark all of the time. Nearly every leader on this planet is calling Israel out, except Trump, who again, and guys, look, we're Trump supporters, okay? But we also, we talk about the truth, and Trump needs, just like Alex Jones and everything else. Obviously, he said exactly what I just said. Trump is now insulated. Obviously, he's not seeing what's going on here, I guess, it's the only way you can really describe it. It seems like he may not know what's going on. I mean, 50,000, that number 50,000 hasn't changed also in months. It's like a total farce. It's probably more like over 100,000 people. And most of them are kids. You can't justify it. You know, our dad went and he fought in the Vietnam War, and he told us, he said, man, we would risk our lives to go in there and get the women and the children out of there before we went in and blew everything up. And that's humanity. That's what you do. You don't blow the women and the kids up. That's just the way it is, guys. Trump did tell the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, it was a fun fact, he was actually born Benjamin Milikowski before his name changed. But Trump did tell him not to attack Iran, saying negotiations are going well. But Israel seems ready to take on the whole region, and tensions are sky high. We're all hoping for a new leader to step in and stop the violence, because this can't go on.
It's a mess out there, Bruce, and closer to home, Congress isn't exactly a beacon of calm either. That Republican tax and budget bill, Musk trash, it's hitting roadblocks in the House, and Trump's out there defending it like it's his magnum opus. Meanwhile, Doge cuts are weakening, havoc gets crazy. The National Weather Service is on the brink of collapse right before hurricane season. With DC's humidity at 93%, I'm thinking we might need those forecasts more than ever.
No kidding, man. I mean, let's hope they get their act together before the storms hit. Now, you know, it's been kind of cool for this area, so it remains to be seen what we can expect. I don't know. We'll have to see. Now let's talk the markets. All right. Because it's the end of the month and investors are on edge. The US dollar on the DXY is 99.58. It's up 0.31%, but it's down slightly against the Japanese yen at 144.08, off only 0.07%. US stock futures are looking shaky. Dow futures at 42,250, down 0.04%. S&P 500 futures at 59.15, down 0.13%. I'm just looking at, obviously we put the show together. Yeah, everything's about the same. And the NASDAQ futures at 21,378, down about 0.14%.
Not a great start, Bruce. They really started crashing the markets yesterday evening. And over in Asia, things aren't much better. The Hong Kong Stock Exchange is at 289.77. It's down 1.2%. On the bright side, crude oil is up, and crypto is taking a dive from 108 to 105, and Ethereum is bouncing around 2,500, 2620 now, and Ripple's moving downward as well. $2.19 looks like a good entry point to me. And Doge and Litecoin, they're both on the about 10% dips.
Litecoin is the right coin, but actually it's down as well. Let's talk about the crypto bloodbath, David. And with the MI consumer data sentiment data dropping today, everyone's wondering, can the markets recover? It's been a rough few months. Trump's tariffs have wiped out trillions. The dollar's wobbly and global tensions aren't helping. But if consumer sentiment surprises to the upside, we might just see a spark of hope.
Fingers crossed, Bruce. We'll be breaking it down further along the show, and tune in from AI to Musk to Trump, the markets. This is the Impact Money Show, and it has you covered.
Yeah. Next, we have the great Matt Dixon here with the Market Watch Report. Sir Matt, how are you?
Hey, good morning. Good to be back with you today. Hi, David.
Great to have you back. I hope you had a great time.
A wonderful time, thank you. Yeah, in Tuscany, in Italy. It was amazing.
Amazing.
So,
Beautiful,
yeah. So it's funny, been away for a week and there's not that much changed. I'll just share my screen, show you where we're at. We're kind of treading water a little bit with the markets.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, Bitcoin moves $1,000. You're like, oh, it's crashing. And then you like look at it, you're like, well, really, it didn't really do much.
I mean, I'll start with DXY. I trust you can see that, yeah?
It's coming up now. Yes.
Yeah, so you can see, I mean, actually, for the past week, it really hasn't moved much. I think we were on 99 when I left a week ago. It's still on 99. Not a great deal of change. And I think from the top that we had at the end of 2022, I think that was the FTX low, wasn't it? Somewhere around there.
Yep.
We've seen quite a bit of dollar weakness, and I think there's probably some more dollar weakness to come. So if we talked about this, I've got the 0 top left-hand corner here being the FTX low, and you can see the dollar has fallen consistently, and that has corresponded with a rise in Bitcoin in general. So if we see some further fall in DXY, which is what I'm expecting here, then that might well be expected to correlate with higher Bitcoin to come. So it's really difficult. Nobody knows the markets for sure where they're going, and we have to trade risk reward. I think we're entering a phase now where potentially we are going to get some further rise if we get some more dollar weakness. So we'll focus on this a little bit more. So we can see from the top, we've basically had an A wave down, a B wave up, and a C wave down. Now the C wave will be made up of 5 waves. We've already had wave 1, 2, 3, 4 probably finished, and we're working on the 5th wave down now. And that is a correct sequence. The ABC move is correct, with the C wave being 5 waves. And the most common relationship is that the C wave very often equals the A wave. So we can measure here, you can see from top to, just line that up properly again, from the top of the A wave to the bottom of the A wave, that's 100%. And that's a fixed measurement there. I can move it around anywhere. So I just put it on the top of the C wave, where the B wave finished here, beginning of the C wave. And it gives us a target. You can see where this arrow is targeted down to, of 95 for the dollar index for the US dollar. So that's telling us we're now at 99. Not a big move, 4%, but potentially 4% downside to go to the most common relationship where C equals A for the dollar index. Following that, we could get a very, very substantial rise in the dollar. Now, as we've already seen, the high in the US dollar corresponded with the FTX low. So that's bad for Bitcoin. So whilst short, medium term, we might be expecting some good Bitcoin appreciation with this dollar falling. If we see a major turnaround, and this is just an ABC down, ABC, of course, is corrective against the trend. It would mean that the main trend is then going to be to the upside. You can see this big dotted arrow I've got in just to show you where potentially we're going to be headed to new highs above that FTX low high, if you know what I mean, FTX low for Bitcoin, corresponding high for the dollar here at 114, somewhere around there, 114, 115 dollar index. If we go above there, that means that the Bitcoin is potentially headed down after this appreciation that we're going to expect. So let's just, before I jump over to Bitcoin, let's just have a look at the CME futures, what we're expecting at the next Fed meeting. I think it's in 19 days time, isn't it?
Yep.
19 days time, we've got the next Fed meeting to setting of interest rates. So we can see now 97.9, so basically 98% chance. And actually, I remember now saying at our last on the show a week ago before I went away, we were at pretty well the same figure. I said there's a 2% chance of basically a cut in rates, 98% chance of a hold. And we can see we're almost identical to that now. So they're going to keep rates on hold. That's pretty well asserted.
And Trump had Fed Chair Powell out at the White House, I think yesterday. He got him in there. It's always funny though, because everybody blames, they like to blame the chair, but it's the whole group behind it that makes the decisions. But yeah, it doesn't look like they're budging.
I mean, Fed Chair Powell, he can't just go and cut interest rates when all the data is saying you've got to keep
also with all of the people behind him. I mean, it's not like he's like, oh, I'm going to, you know what I mean? He's not like a Trump that he's just making decisions.
Yeah, he doesn't make the decision, as you say. Absolutely. It's a panel. It's a board. It's a market committee, FOMC. So it's a market committee. So it's a committee makes a decision and it's a vote. So you can't just twist his arm into cutting rates when all the evidence says you've got to keep them on hold for the time being. So that's the next meeting, and we'll just have a quick look at the July meeting coming up on the 30th of July. So we can see even there is a growing majority likelihood of another hold in interest rates. So even July, they're not going to cut by the look of it so far. And I think following the next meeting, this will jump again towards the 90% most probably, unless we see some major change in data, in market news, in geopolitics or something. Looks like they're going to stay on hold, just move out to September. We actually then have the first reasonable chance, according to the market, of a rate cut, which is actually a majority now, 53.2% chance of a cut in September. So it looks like September is going to be the first possible cut we have. So let's just see. So is that cut in response to market weakness? We'll just have to see why they might be cutting when it comes to that time. So here, as I say, we've done dollar index. Let's just jump over to Bitcoin, see what we can see for Bitcoin. So there's that FTX crisis we talked about when we were looking at dollar index. So if you remember, we had the US dollar was at a high when FTX Bitcoin price was a low at the height of the FTX crisis. We had Bitcoin at this low price here of 15,500, somewhere around here, 15,500. At that time, we had a high in the US dollar. Now, US dollar has been falling ever since, and Bitcoin has been rising ever since. So this is why it really is very, very important to understand where the US dollar is going. So that was a very, very important chart we looked at. We may just revisit before we leave the show today. But to look at where we're at on Bitcoin, from that FTX low, you can see we've potentially had a wave 1 up, 2 down, 3 up, 4 down, 5 up. Now that's the end of a cycle. And then you can potentially have, this could be A down, B up with a C down to come. That is a real possibility. So the thing is, all the news at the moment, the Bitcoin fundamental news that we hear, the talk of Bitcoin buying, Michael Saylor buying, and so on, is all very, very positive. And when everything is positive, as we've said before with that fear and greed index, when everybody is positive and greedy, etc., those are the times when you're likely to see a turnaround in the markets, because everybody who's going to buy Bitcoin right now has possibly already bought. I still think the long-term future of Bitcoin is tremendous, but I just think there's danger of a potential pullback here. We did exceed the previous all-time high, but that's perfectly okay. You can have what's called an expanded flat correction. So if we completed one cycle higher, a 5-wave cycle higher, you would then expect there to be an ABC down. Now, it could be the ABC is complete here, or it could be a larger correction, A, B, and still a C to come. I still don't think we'll break that 69,000. I seriously hope we don't break 69,000, because that was a very important line in the sand, the previous all-time high that lasted for years. We don't want to break that. That will be quite negative. So if we get a pullback, I expect it to probably drop just a little below that 74,000, but stay above 69, hopefully. Then if we did do that, I would be seriously looking to fill the bags and pile in with risk reward is below 69. The risk is below 69. The reward would be to massive new all-time highs for Bitcoin. That is my preferred scenario. That's the one I would love to trade. But right now where we are, we did just touch into all-time highs. The fact that we've broken quite well below it again, back to 105,000 now. We did actually get up to about 112, didn't we? Somewhere around there.
Almost. Yeah, we went up there.
I'll just have a look on the 4-hour, just see where we actually reached to. I think it's might just touch 112 one day. Let's just move that one up a little bit. See where the peak was. There, 112,000. Yeah, so we hit 112,000. We're now 105. So we're down roughly 7% from the high, and we've dipped below. That dotted line was the previous all-time high that we clearly just broke through, and we've dipped down below again now. So at the moment, that potentially looks corrective. So it wouldn't surprise me that we get another push higher, and that's exactly what I said when I looked at dollar index. I said we're still expecting lower for dollar index in the very short term, just to focus back on that briefly. So if you remember, I was saying we've had wave 4 up and we're working on a wave 5 down. So I think dollar index will continue weaker in the short term. So that being the case, if dollar index is going weaker, then we actually expect probably Bitcoin to go higher. Now this, as you can probably see here, looks like quite a nice correction in Bitcoin. We may well push higher now. And actually, in my mind, whilst I was away, I was obviously still keeping an eye on all the prices.
Of course.
I was looking at Solana when it touched 180, and I was thinking to myself in my mind, right, if it gets to 160, I'm going to be looking at buying, piling in again at 160 on Solana. So we'll look at Solana in a minute, but
there you go.
They're highly correlated.
Yeah.
I think we may well have had a 535 in the making down for Bitcoin, and then again push to, we should get another new all-time high. So I actually think that short term, because we're going to see probably more dollar weakness, we are going to see some more Bitcoin strength before we see the correction I'm talking about should come. So short term, we're looking at potentially higher. I posted, I think just when I got back, on Ethereum. It was quite interesting. I'll probably go on to the daily just to show that. Yeah, we can, let's just see, I'll just move that. Okay, we've got very, very, very mild bearish divergence, but again, it was quite indicative there. So I did post this on X, the Ethereum chart, and I was basically showing we've had lots of down moves with consolidations along the way. Then we got this Petra upgrade, which resulted in a massive pump in Ethereum. Then following that pump, you can see we've got slightly higher highs on the price peaks, just slightly higher. That's important. They are higher, so it's valid. And we got corresponding lower highs on RSI. So that was telling you there's going to be a bit of a push down in Ethereum. And precisely from that point, even if you sold up here, you could have had your risk reward above this dotted line. You're actually already in a nice bit of profit. You can now protect, even if it's $1 profit, you can protect it, because we could well push above. But at least with this kind of trading, using this indicator, you can basically lock in some profits, guaranteed, no matter what now. And if it did move down sharply, you make more profits. If it moves up to highs above this dotted line here, you've still taken a profit, even if it's $1. So either way, you made some money. It's really nice, nice way to do it. So that Petra upgrade did cause an amazing pump in price. So it could be that we've got some kind of, 1, 2, 3, some kind of wave 4 here and a wave 5 higher to come. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But then I think we get another pullback.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing it. They're definitely, it's green on the charts more often than not these days. Yeah.
We've seen a bit of a pullback with Litecoin. We don't often touch on Litecoin, but again, yeah, at the moment it kind of still looks corrective higher. I mean, look at this pull. Well, actually, it's quite interesting. The pullback here, you can see to this point here, didn't actually cross into this move here. So it could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's possible. And then we could get a 3-wave back and another 5 higher. So at the moment, it's also looking reasonably short term, looking constructive Litecoin as well. So I still think we'll get another push up on Litecoin. So a lot of these tokens, I'm thinking short term, we're going to see another push up reasonably soon. And that would correlate with that lower dollar index I was talking about. And what really confirms that in my mind is, let's look at Jasmy, which is, I know, one of people's favorite. A lot of people love Jasmy. Whenever I post on Jasmy, I get more likes and engagement than
It's interesting, isn't it? They have quite a community.
Quite a community, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking here that we potentially had an A wave down, working on B wave higher. So again, if we're looking at higher Jasmy short term, that would again correlate with that weaker dollar index that we talked about. And it does look as though from this little blue A wave here, it looks like we've got an ABC down. It's 3 waves down quite clearly, you can see. So that would correspond with an X wave and then a further push up to finish the overall B wave. So I do expect there to be a push higher, and this would be basically what's called a WXY. It's a 333 correction. So you got 3 waves higher, ABC to give you the W, that's 3 waves. Then you get a little ABC down for the X wave. Then you get an A, a B, and a C for the Y wave, which completes an overall larger B wave. So then you've had A down, B up. You would then expect the C down. So going back to the dollar index, if this goes higher, it means dollar index weaker. Well, that's exactly what we expected. But then we talked about this big turnaround in dollar index. Once we reach that, complete that correction in dollar index, then dollar index should then push higher, and that would correspond with lower crypto. So that's when we potentially see a turnaround here. And I'll just put an arrow in place to show you my expectation really from around this point. I'm expecting, well, actually even more than that. The arrow looks frightening. It's so big, but I'm expecting following this move up. So I'm short term, you can see here, I'm expecting Jasmy probably gets a push higher to complete the B wave. Then I think we push down in C wave. It should be quite a substantial push down in the C wave. And this is the what I think is going to happen across crypto really. Oil has been pretty well where we left it again. I still think that we're probably going to get some lower prices in oil. So short term, geopolitically, I don't think there's going to be any major issues. As you said, America is holding Israel back, trying to hold Israel back from attacking Iran.
Yep.
Israel is obviously very worried that Iran will get nuclear capability because Iran have clearly stated they want to destroy Israel. It's very difficult for Israel, and I heard what you say, but you got to remember they want Hamas out of the way because Hamas.
Yeah, they got to stop killing all the kids. I mean, that's it. I don't care.
Continual thorn in the side. Agreed. I mean, war is terrible all around, and killing kids and
just stop killing
anybody's horrible. Actually, killing is just horrible. So they need to try to find a solution. It's difficult because obviously we know Hamas have form for hiding their rocket launches in schools, in hospitals.
Israel does the same thing. There's all kinds of pictures of them putting the guys out there in front of the tanks. I mean, they're both so out of the realm of anything acceptable. They just need to stop. Put the guns down.
I agree with you, Bruce. We need to be against war because war is
horrible.
There's no other word for it really than horrible. Yeah. So we agree on that side. But I think war on both sides is always horrible actions on both sides, no matter what. That's what war forces people into, unfortunately. So yeah, we need to get a resolution to it. Hopefully there will be. So oil, as I say, I think we're headed lower, but then potentially this kind of correlates with dollar, expecting lower on dollar, but then maybe a massive push higher. So that could equate with some sort of geopolitical tension. That's my feeling, that at the moment things are okay. And as I say, America are holding Israel back from attacking Iran, etc. So maybe we'll get weaker oil. And we are beginning to see a slowing economy. I mean, if I just jump into my Twitter, this was my X feed. This was from yesterday I posted. We can see GDP in America, previous reading 2.4% GDP. Expectation minus 0.3, actual minus 0.2. But you can actually see the weakness there in GDP. It's gone negative again. And then corporate profits again, 5.9%, expected 5.9, but corporate profits have plummeted minus 3.6. So there's a lot of negative stuff here. Pending home sales, the previous figure was 5.5%. They're expecting minus 0.9%. They actually got minus 6.3%. So there's some pretty negative data now beginning to print out of the US. And that is going to probably push the narrative for weaker interest rates. Maybe they will soften the stance on interest rates, and that is going to weaken dollar further. And will also, by the way, the lack of consumption will weaken oil. So again, all these jigsaw pieces seem to be fitting together. The fundamental news and data that we're getting out is fitting with what we're expecting in the markets. And that's really the ideal situation that we want. We can see gold here. It's not managed to break these all-time highs just recently. We've had an A down, a B up, and a C down. That is either a completed correction, and at the moment it looks like a completed correction. So I do think that we're probably going to continue to push higher on gold. That's probably a good sign for markets in general. Gold is obviously a hedge against risk and all sorts of things and inflation. But also it's a place where money goes when there's money washing around in the system. It does often go into gold. People are stocking up on gold because it is that safe haven. And despite the good news out there, there's a lot of warning signs out there. As I say, there is still risks with war, Russia, Ukraine, everywhere. So I think gold will continue to push higher. So as I'm always saying, Bruce has been pushing gold for the past 18 months now on this show. And he's been absolutely right. The charts have been supportive, and even here, the wave 4 is either complete here, or we could push down. The wave 4 could be a bit lower. It's in a nice place because wave 4 are supposed to push into territory of the previous wave 4 of lesser degree. So here is the wave 4 of lesser degree. This is the wave 4 of higher degree pushed into that territory. So it's already been a satisfactory correction, ABC down. That could be complete, or it could just be another push down. But again, hopefully in the territory of this, within this wave 4, which is here, we could push down further, but it's still a correction. And we know it's a correction because here we can't count this as wave 1, 2, 3, because this move up, which would be a wave 4, has already pushed into territory of wave 1. That's not allowed in Elliott wave terms. So we know it's an ABC. Now, it could be more complex. We could get another ABC down. That's possible. But I'm just saying it's corrected down. So we're still expecting a further impulse higher to take us to new all-time highs above the previous all-time high for gold was 3,386. That was the previous. Well, that's what I got here. That's not correct. Sorry, it's here. 3,500. So this was the previous all-time high of gold, 3,500 on the nose. So at some point, not too distant future, we expect new all-time highs for gold. So obviously, you don't pile everything, all your eggs in one basket, but gold is still a great asset with very highly likely we're going to see new all-time highs again for gold. So tremendous potential there. Pretty well, that's about it. I mean, we're seeing obviously the meme coins like the fart coin, for example, is down 6% today. Yeah, so
Doge was down 9.5% or something this morning.
Yeah, there's been some serious moves down. I see One Harmony is down 15% this morning. Look at that. But again, it's all this very, very artificial price movement. They're all the same.
These alts, man, they just go all over the place. It's almost impossible to trade them. I know.
Sorry to jump in, but wasn't I telling you that I loved one of my favorite choices was Toncoin?
Yes.
Did you see the movement the other day? We had a 20% move up in Toncoin.
And then it went all back down.
Not all back down. It was still. I mean, it's down to 2 point something. It's now 3.28.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, I've been watching it. I was expecting a bigger move, but I guess all the alts they've all had a hard time.
Yeah, it got some good news on Telegram. I can't remember precisely what the news was, but it's some good news on Telegram, which is obviously linked to Toncoin. Yeah. So we've had. I think we're going to push probably higher. So we've had basically potentially this wave 4 might actually move over to here somewhere. So it'd be an A, B, C for wave 4. That's what I'm hoping.
I'm a fan. I mean, from when you first started talking about Toncoin, you thought.
I'm saying it's one of my favorites. The only issue is the supply is massive, a little bit like XRP in a way. Supply is absolutely massive. So when you see good news, it still results in some good price movements. So I like Toncoin. I think it's good. Let's just look where Trump coin is while we're at it. Okay, Trump coin is holding up, only down 3.77%, but yeah, it's still basically in the doldrums. What was the news? I saw some news on Trump coin. Didn't really read it properly because I was away, but something about some of the.
He had a dinner. Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe that was this.
What he did, I think the top 20 holders or 40 holders, 150 holders, whatever it was, I didn't pay that close of attention. He had a dinner, and so it created a big push really in the market, I guess probably as people were trying to jockey for those seats.
Okay.
And then it pulled back quite a bit, but it's still just like Toncoin, it hasn't it kept some of that momentum.
Yeah. So I'm just putting in now what I think my expectation would probably be. So I think we may get a little push up. As I've said with Bitcoin, with all of them, we may push down a bit more. But I think we're going to get another little push higher. But then I think we're going to push down to new lows for Trump coin below $10. So whilst this is corrective sideways, this is consolidation. Very clear consolidation sideways we can see. So we would expect you got basically the flagpole. This is a bull flag. So you got a flagpole up, you got the flag waving in the wind. So it's a bull flag. You expect the break out of the flag to be to the upside. here, and then following that is basically an ABC movement higher. Then you expect further movement down, impulsive movement down to the downside. So short term, at some point, we'll probably get a turnaround, push higher again. But as I say, these memes are not my cup of tea. But for people who want to gamble with a bit of money, it can be good fun, I suppose.
Yep.
So
I had heard he was gonna take it at all of his resorts and everything else, but I never heard anything more about that. That could make it a little bit interesting if it was going to go up, but it's
I mean, potentially if you got some discounts with it, that provides some utility for holding the coin. So it wouldn't then be a complete meme coin. It would create a bit of utility. So I guess that probably is going to happen. I imagine.
Probably.
Yeah, even if it's just as a sort of a marketing stunt, it could
points.
Could have a nice points, whatever. Could have a nice effect there. So today's a down day so far, but I think that down day won't last long, maybe into tomorrow. Tomorrow's weekend. So weekend, I think probably weekend or after weekend, we're going to get a push higher, I think, in most of crypto. But that will presage probably the move down. It's all down to the dollar. Just coming back finally to close, it's all about the dollar at the end of the day. What do we expect for the US dollar? As I say, my clear expectation is a bit more down for the US dollar, which in my mind, well, not just in my mind, it's been proven that whenever US dollar goes to a high, that's when we start to see a low in the cryptos. Whenever US dollar is going down, we start to see cryptos pumping. So I think at some point we'll get another push down in dollar before the main turnaround. So I'm tempted to dip my toe in the water. As I said, Solana looked interesting for me around that 160 area. And it could even be that we have a 1-2-1-2. Now that is the most bullish count you can get. When you say 1-2-1-2, it means you've got a 1-2, and then the next third wave is made up of 5 waves itself. So you get then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, making the third wave at this degree. It could be a big push to the upside. So
I couldn't help myself. I bought Dogecoin when I saw it was down 9.5% this morning. It's doing well.
Yeah, I know you're an active trader. You do very well. I'm a little bit more conservative.
I'm a lot more conservative than I used to be. Trust me, and it has paid off. but doing the show with you, the more the more cautious you get.
Yeah,
the more experience you have, because you know what can happen.
Yeah, but you also have to be careful you don't become overly cautious, because it is all about balancing fear and greed. The problem is, as human beings, we tend to be one way or the other, and we've got to strike the right balance.
I was shorting the top of the market. I had a short set for 10,500, and it went to 10,445, and I should have just hit it and gone. But I was again cautious, and I missed that. But.
Yeah, shorting the market is always extremely dangerous. I mean, if you short Bitcoin even at 110,000 or even wherever, but 110,000, Bitcoin genuinely could go to $500,000. It really could.
I know. That's why I was like, all right, just wait.
Yeah, I mean, if you short even at something tiny, if you're able to do it 1.5 leverage or something, you only need to get the price up to, it could easily stop you out. So shorting is extremely dangerous with leverage, very, very dangerous. So I'm avoiding shorting because I just know that Bitcoin really has the potential to absolutely rocket. And if it does rocket, then the altcoins would rocket even more. That's when you'd see alt season. So it's not that Bitcoin would be going down. Bitcoin would be going up. It's just altcoins would be going up at a faster rate. And that's when you see the altcoin season, when everybody goes crazy piling into the alts. But for the time being, probably good. We can see here, by the way, it does look like it's it's a really nice opportunity somewhere around these sort of levels to be dollar cost averaging in and maybe get some longs on it. I'm seriously thinking about it right now. I'm not in the market right now at this moment, or at least not appreciably. I've got a few tokens that I just hold.
Sure.
But in general, I'm not putting any speculative money in right now, but I'm close. It's a close decision, honestly. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today. I think there's going to be some major opportunities. So it's weekend coming up now, isn't it? So let's see how we are on Monday. And,
Well, we have today. Is it Friday? Today's Friday. Is it Friday?
as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, it is. All right, it's the weekend. Let's go.
Yeah, I've been traveling so much I lose track. But yeah, thank you for having me again.
Thank you,
Pleasure
Matt.
to be with you. I hope it's helpful to people, and look forward to Monday.
Always a pleasure, brother. Have a great weekend.
Cheers, David. Bye for now.
Cheers. Great Matt Dixon with the Market Watch Report. World-class analysis that we get here, folks. World-class on the show. It is always a lot of fun to have Matt. Matt and I go back a few years now. I missed him in Dubai. He was running around Europe, but I'm sure we will see each other again soon. I have queued up here an interview that we did with Yana Leonova. This was from the Global Family Office Investment Summit, which was a tremendous success for us. We're doing this again. You saw at the beginning of the show. We're doing this again in Monaco, June 26, 27. If you haven't been to the south of France during May, June, it's just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, the air is soft, the water is soft, like everything is just absolutely beautiful. So looking forward to that. We're going to hit the Global Family Office Investment Summit there in Monaco. The ETH has an event right after that, ETH.cc as well. There's some AI events there in Monaco in the Cannes area. So really looking forward to it. If you want to go and be in front of trillions of dollars, as a matter of fact, family investors and all types of different investors, then drop us a line. Here's our interview with our good friend Yana Leonova. This is from the Global Family Office Investment Summit in Dubai a few weeks ago.
And we are live here at the Global Family Office Investment Summit in beautiful Dubai. So nice to be back in Dubai around good old friends like Dr. Yana Leonova. We've done some amazing events together. I know you have evolved into, I was just overhearing your conversation with Gordon. You're a mother, you're a PhD, you're a businesswoman. I mean, it really is impressive. Tell us what you have going on right now and what brought you here to the Global Family Office Investment Summit.
So right now, as many years ago when we met, I guess like 6 years ago before COVID. So I'm involved in tech, but I really see how many positive changes happened during last years. So Dubai is growing exponentially, as well as the UAE in general, Abu Dhabi, Ras Al Khaimah, all other Emirates as well. But because I'm based in Dubai, of course I notice more what happens in Dubai. So in terms of finance, in terms of investments, in terms of entrepreneurship, Dubai is like really scaling. So I think the advantages are very low taxes or even zero taxes, what is very important these days for a lot of rich people all around the globe. Very friendly environment, very safe. You know, just like government is involved, government is creating a lot of valuable, I would say, condition for companies to relocate here, like easy to open companies, you know, like a very great international connection, Dubai Airlines, Emirates Airlines, airports. So a lot of things that are actually appealing to people, investors, you know, businessmen, professionals, and so on. So Dubai became a hub, and it's just like keeps growing and growing and growing. I remember like when I moved here in 2018, so sometimes to gather investors, VC investors, was a little bit challenging. You may be connected to some government, you know, a little bit, small amount of offices. Now, you just have a huge list and you actually need to qualify, you know, and get rid maybe of some people who unfortunately don't pass your criteria, or like the capacity of the meeting room, you know, like is like limited. So now it's just like tons of companies, tons of businesses here. So and then money brings companies bring money. So it just like keep rolling.
And it just keeps rolling. It is. And I'll tell you what, one of the things, of course, the effect, I mean, the traffic from when I started coming here to now, it's unbelievable. I used to stay in the Palm all the time because I liked it. But I could still come down here. But now it's like, no, you want to stay where you're working because there's really so many people here. So talk to me a little bit about exactly what you're doing now that is pushing this forward.
I run a community of VC investors,
Okay.
so-called. We have like a global community, VNTR Capital. So headquartered in Delaware. It started with the US, but then it spread over to Europe, Asia, and Middle East. So I run the UAE chapter, so-called. So I try to gather investors, run regular events, gatherings. We are looking to deal flows. So we are looking to partners like accelerators, for example, like big events like Dubai FinTech next week, GITEX, AI Everywhere, family offices gatherings. So it's like some other clubs, of investors. So we try to get access to proper people, people who are like great speakers as well, who build companies, who invest in startups, and as well as always looking for a deal flow.
Yeah.
But our community is very international. So starting with Delaware, we have representatives in Miami, in New York, in Colorado, so on. In Europe, we are covered like London, Zurich, Vienna, Madrid, Barcelona, Marbella, a lot of places, Monaco, Asia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Middle East, Riyadh, Dubai, and so on and so on.
Wow.
So we keep growing.
So it's pretty amazing. I know you've been here for a few years. You live here. How is it? You're raising a family here. How is it for your son and everything?
I feel very comfortable. I feel very safe for myself as a woman. Let's say a blonde woman in this Arabic word. But frankly, it's extremely safe. I feel very safe for my children. I have 2 children, 8 years old and 1 year old.
Okay,
it's
congratulations.
a lot of activities for kids.
Yeah.
Free, paid, indoor, outdoor, so many places. If you want to celebrate your birthday, if you want, engage in sports, so many clubs, tennis academies, ice skating academies, come from all around the globe with top names, and open the academies here, football as well, and so on. So many international contests, tournaments are now actually held here in the UAE. Also, the same you can say about culture. When I came here, Dubai Opera was here, but it was a very, very few performances to go.
Okay.
Now, like for example, last December, we had Bolshoi from Russia, we had La Scala, we had Metropolitan Opera, we have top, how you call them, actors, singers and dancers from the world-renowned names.
Okay.
And you just really don't know how to allocate your time and your money because you want to go everywhere, but unfortunately you are limited with resources.
Sure.
So in this regard, it's just more and more things to see. We are a little bit like in theaters, I lived in London, and we have really this West End with performances. I saw Scarlett Johansson, Nicole Kidman, Jude Law coming and performing. We are not there yet, but in terms of show business, sport activities, art, Dubai is UAE is emphasizing now a lot on art. It's happening.
Well, really cool. So now for our viewers, if they want to contact you, what types of projects are you guys most interested in, and how do they get a hold of you?
As VNTR, we act as a syndicate.
Okay.
For kind of late stage US deals at the moment. That's our focus. But because we are a community of investors, we have various investors. They're all senior level, they're all decision makers, but some of them are Web3 focusing, some of them more traditional tech, some of them are focusing on deep tech, someone in e-commerce. So frankly, we have a platform that would just address maybe not all, but most of our investors. But we are focused more on investors, So we are more like investors community rather than helping startups to raise. We rather help investors to communicate to peers globally.
Amazing.
So you can go to www.vntr, what is venture, vntr.vc.
Amazing.
Check and apply if you're an investor.
Awesome. Well, it's very nice to have you on again.
Yes.
I know it's been a few years, or at least 1 or 2. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Always
See you
welcome.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Hey Randy, I got another home run for us, man. This 2-bit exchange is absolutely amazing.
Hey Bruce, what's up, man? Yeah, why don't you tell me about that 2-bit exchange?
Yeah, that's right. And we're going to be able to list our coins that we want, that we support, and they're going to be on this amazing derivatives platform. It's absolutely awesome.
Derivatives? I love derivatives. I can't wait to be on the trade copy program.
So what I want you to do is set up an account and then send me your UID, and let's set you up with a trade copy system, and you just let it run. Copy our trades. That's it. Easy peasy.
So you want me to open an account, send you my user ID, and you hook me up with the trade copy system. I can't wait. Sounds spectacular.
Hey, Matt. Hey, listen, I met with the guys at 2-bit Exchange while I was in Dubai, and this platform really looks amazing.
Yeah, hi Bruce. Yeah, thank you again for that heads up. I mean, I've looked into this 2-bit platform. It does appear to have everything we're looking for.
Yeah, that's right. 2-bit, Toobit. They have great liquidity. They have futures platform. There's a lot of functionality that I think you're going to like on there. And they really want to work with us. They want to work with the Impact Money Show. And as you and I both know, if they have a good product and they want to work with us, well, hey, that's half the battle.
I mean, basically, I love that copy trade facility. I love the features on the platform. It's basically very simple to use.
Our viewers only need to set it up to copy our trades, and they just do all the trades that we do. Makes it really easy for people to participate. I think they're going to love it. I'm pretty excited about it.
And yeah, it's definitely going to benefit people. I mean, obviously with all the years of experience that we can pack into it, and people can basically benefit from that. Yeah, I definitely think it's a goer.
Hey, David. Yeah, man, I'm excited about it too. I mean, when you think of the ways that we can help our viewers earn money and be able to participate in the monetary revolution, this 2-bit platform just opens up all kinds of doors that they don't have right now.
Hey, Bruce, I'm checking out this platform. It's revolutionary.
That's absolutely correct. And the futures platform is amazing. Great liquidity. And the copy trader program, people are going to be able to make the trades exactly when we make them and make the money that we make. It's a win-win for everybody.
Open for U.S. customers, and you can deposit money with a credit or debit card. Doesn't get better than this.
Beautiful. And what do you think we should use as a referral code?
I think we should use Impact Money. That's the one. Impact Money.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.